social, your platform of choice, Facebook.
I've been simulcasting the Light Years post game show for the last month, and no matter how often I do it, I still always forget to actually click the simulcast to get it going. I don't think it's a product issue. I think it's just a me issue, but just throw it out there.
Okay, I think we are set.
Yeah. Oh, play-in day.
I'm nervous.
I'm way ready to be disappointed by the way this ends. I already can see it. I can see that they're going to send out a lineup of all guys over 35 against a bunch of young guys for no reason. Anyway, I'll save this for later. Everyone hyped for the playoffs? Yeah. Welcome to Playback Town Hall. We're going to discuss kind of our playoff push, growth, product upgrades for creators, including finally adding VOD and layout customization. Kevin will kick it off with kind of some overview on our growth.
All right. So this year has been going really well. You can see since I believe this chart starts in the beginning of January, within the NBA and even beyond the NBA, what creators and communities are doing on Playback has been really, really impressive. And I think we're happy to announce this milestone of now surpassing 1% of daily NBA nightly viewership, which is really incredible in our first season. I think it's a testament of how great the creators on the platform are. I think it's indicative of how NBA fans and sports fans generally want to watch sports in a more interactive format, a more social format. The ability to kind of choose your own media and choose your own community is really showing up here. I think part of this is also the expansion of the use cases on Playback beyond watching games. We're seeing people streaming morning shows, post-game shows, live pods, all kinds of different formats. I think that's really helping create tighter-knit communities. And then also, because we've seen that work in any format, we've started to expand to sports where we don't yet have live rights or broadcast rights. So seeing a lot of awesome football in Latino America and basketball. And then in the UK, a lot of Premier League, Philippines, a lot of basketball there. So a lot of exciting growth internationally. We're just super pumped to see this, and this really creates a lot of opportunities for the platform going forward. I think we should talk about what this means as we continue to pursue other partnerships.
Yeah, obviously our growth accelerates the ability for us to get more content on the platform. These last season, being able to get to 1% of NBA nightly usage and the growth you've seen has accelerated our conversations with prospective content partners. If we keep up this momentum, our ability to continue obtaining rights becomes easier. We expect to be able to announce 2 rights deals potentially in the coming months. Won't announce it just yet. Don't want to jinx it. But the point is, the larger Playback keeps growing, the easier it is for us to get rights beyond the NBA and continue to add functions and features to the platform to make it more and more interactive. And so that's why, as we're approaching kind of the money end of the season, we're calling this our playoff push. And it's not just for the NBA. It applies to the Premier League, La Liga, South American leagues, Champions League. A lot of sports are kind of in the money end of their season right now, and it's the perfect time to keep growing your community when there's interest at the highest for the sports that you guys care about. Ultimately, we want Playback to be a 24/7 platform, and so I just kind of want to remind you guys, don't limit yourself in what you can do with this space. It is your playback room. It doesn't just have to be limited to one type of session. We're going to highlight some today, but and Kevin called it out, but we've seen people do like live call-in shows, like radio shows. We see people do match previews, post-game instant reacts. We've even started seeing some people do some video gaming on here, playing some FIFA or some Fortnite. So yeah, just keep it up, guys. If we keep continuing doing this stuff and making noise and growing in this fashion, we'll be able to continue delivering more content to you guys and continue building out this awesome platform.
All right. So the first feature update we want to share today is a feature we're calling replays. Hopefully this will make a lot of sense to everybody, but Playback has been a live platform through today and will continue to be a live first platform. I think that's where we're seeing the highest level of interactivity, where people are together at the same time. And that's, I think, what makes our platform unique is the ways you're able to interact with creators and communities when you're all present in the same space. But we know not everyone can make every one of your live streams. People are busy. So we have heard that you want to be able to watch streams on demand. We know that folks are uploading their recordings to other channels to make your streams available off platform, which is great. And we want to continue to encourage that. But we want to make it all easier for you and your room members to be able to watch recorded playback streams on platform. So we're going to show you the new replay feature, which will make your recordings publicly available to all of your room members to be able to watch whenever they want. So let's do a little demo. Let's get Leon from our design team to show you how this will work for viewers and for creators.
Thanks, Kevin. I'll give a little demo on how replay publishing works here. But yeah, just going to jump into the room profile here and into our handy room menu. Go into our replay section, which should be familiar. But yeah, we have some new indicators here that I'll get to in a moment. But let me jump into any particular event replay here. And yeah, the template's been reformatted for publishing now. There's this new important visibility dropdown, which is essentially your entry point to publish VODs. By default, all past event replays will be set to private, but there's a setting now within the room menu that we'll be adding, which will basically allow you to auto-publish any replay to your room profile and turn that off as well. But I'll walk through these different visibility settings here. Again, by default, it was private. You can set something to unlisted, which basically means it's shareable, but still private, so not published to your community profile. And most importantly, being able to publicize it. So making it public, there's a shareable link. There's a dedicated replay page. So outside of the context of the room, just a public replay page. But this replay is also available on the community profile. And I'll just jump back here. You can see that these indicators correlate to that visibility status there. So these guys with the green eyeballs, that means they're public. Then if you go into the profile, we've actually reformatted the profile to have tabs now. So you'll be able to see there's a replay section now. We've added a tab for schedule. But yeah, you can see any VOD that you set to public will be basically published to the profile here, where you can organize by latest or oldest. And another entry point to basically get to that management side where you can, again, change the visibility. But yeah, so a couple updates around here. These VODs will also be, again, available on their own dedicated page. So you can view them, watch these VODs anytime you want, share these links across social media. And yeah, just keep on publishing VODs to your profile here, but hopefully should keep some content on Playback here.
Yeah, I think a couple of good questions coming in from the chat. So in terms of the rollout of the feature, the first version of replays should be live within a week. So either later this week or early next week, we'll let you know as soon as it's available. The first version of replays is going to include any stream except for streams that featured an NBA broadcast. So those recordings will remain private in this first release, but we'll follow up with support for all streams, including streams that featured an NBA game. And let's see, a few other, I think there was a question about auto publishing. So there will be a setting where you can set all of your streams to automatically publish as soon as they're done. But if you turn that off, or anytime, you can go into your settings and just publish individual replays, or set them to unlisted if you just want to share them with a private audience. See, there's a question about clipping. Clips don't show up on the profile just yet, but I think that's a natural next step for this project. If you can publish your replays on your profile, we should do the same for clips. Let's see, what else? I think, yeah, creators, anyone with a creator role will have permission to publish these replays. Also, there's a question about the Creator Fund and analytics. So in the first release of replays, we'll only be including your live streams in the Creator Fund earnings and analytics, but our plan is to incorporate the replays as well. So we'll be following up later with your replay analytics and determining how those get incorporated into your Creator Fund earnings. In the meantime, you will see view counts on all the replays publicly. So when you go to a replay page, it will show how many people tuned in to that stream while it was live, plus all the people who are watching the replay afterwards. But yeah, we need to incorporate that into the analytics and the Creator Fund, and that will come next. All right. Any other questions on the replays before we move on? I think we should have covered all of them so far. Okay. So next up is studio mode. So as we talked about, people have been using Playback for all different kinds of live formats, not just watching the game, but producing live pods. And one of the things we've seen is that people are using kind of higher production value setups. So people with a streaming setup where they want a 16:9 camera, or people who are producing their stream in OBS or anywhere else. And we've made some updates to the studio mode feature to basically improve the layouts that people are seeing when somebody is using a 16:9 camera. So I'll just demo that real quick here. If I take off the stream and I put my camera into studio mode, you can see that I'm taking over the whole screen here, and I can still have stage guests appearing small. So this is nice if I'm just wanting to use my whole camera, but I can also use OBS or some other app to produce what's happening in this feed and basically do anything I would want in a live podcast or any other kind of show or gaming, and still use the Playback stage at the same time to take guests. So that is the update to studio mode, but I should say that we're also updating the clips and the recording. So any time you're turning on studio mode during your stream, that will be seen in the clip and the recording. But this is just the first of many things we plan to do on the production front. We know that live production is super important, and that's going to be one of the big next categories of investment from our team, is allowing you to fully customize how Playback looks, how Playback sounds, and just being able to make anything that matches your imagination as a creator. I think we have a couple examples that we can share of folks that have been using studio mode recently well. Oh, and then actually, Leon, do you want to talk about, this is an update to Gamecasts.
Yeah, so just a couple of improvements for the live states within the room. This is kind of just the start of it, but yeah, we're doing some housekeeping here. So we'll have an updated Gamecast state. So basically, the piece of UI that reflects the game that you'd be watching will be consolidated to a much smaller element, and we're really trying to prioritize the stage members in this view, and that being the default view when you either don't have access, you're geo blocked for whatever reason, or you get to actually kind of put in your NBA League Pass data. Again, just really want to prioritize the stage members this view and make them kind of the star of the show during these streams if you for whatever reason can't see the NBA stream. We'll also be just doing some other housekeeping elements by leaning into the 16:9 format for the stage cameras here. So you'll see that they'll take on this kind of landscape, more traditional kind of stream camera format here. But again, just the beginning of a lot of room housekeeping that is just to get the ball rolling on this, but consolidating a lot of elements here and trying to make the transition from not having access to going through access and just making the stream overall better than the room.
To Box's question, you can absolutely use this for any sport or any category you want. Absolutely.
Yeah, so Kevin mentioned that we were going to show you guys some examples of how people are using studio mode. And in the upper left corner, we've got Lukitas. He was gaming. So he's, small over there in the corner, but the entire feed that you're seeing is him playing, what's it called? Pro Evolution Soccer?
PES.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all three of these creators are using, outside software to capture their screen or their image or their production and sending it to Playback. So bottom left corner is Enjoy Basketball. They all sit in a room together and watch games together, and they're sending one camera signal to Playback so that their community can see them all together. SDS does something a little different. They use two cameras, and that's who you see on the right. And they have a producer in the background who's switching between the two sets of creators, but they're all in the same room again, creating together and bringing folks up pre and post match of EPL games. So again, Playback has a lot of functionality outside of live games. And if you guys need help, setting some of this kind of stuff up, just let us know in the Discord.
Yeah, I think we will always let you use your preferred software if you want to live produce something in OBS or anywhere else, and then connect that into Playback, as you've seen some folks doing here. I think we will also be building a lot of these production features into Playback directly so that it's really easy to do without using third-party software, but we want to support both. I think in the near term, connecting OBS gives you a ton of flexibility, but you'll see us add more and more to the platform to make it easier and easier for people to do.
And the cliff notes to all this is let your imagination run wild, guys. Think of a show you want to do. Think of something you want to do with your community and ask it to us. We'll figure out a way to kind of help you plug it in if we can. As you're seeing, all these examples are different than kind of what Playback was initially known for. And we want Playback to be a platform in which you can stream anything or do anything you want with your community.
Okay, quick update on username. So everybody who's here now already knows this, but for anyone who's watching the simulcast or the recording, we launched unique usernames recently. It's foundational for building identity on Playback. So you can build a profile, you can have connections to other users, and we can start combating impersonation. We know a lot of people like to, in the chat, pretend to be someone who they're not. So having a unique username is kind of the first step in being able to trust the people who are in your room. There's a lot more that we'll do beyond just unique usernames to help you build those trusted relationships and spot the trolls immediately. There's kind of a migration from anyone who had an old name. The old names were not unique, but if you had a unique name, we just migrated you over. So you have a username reserved. If you had a space in your name, we migrated you to a name without a space. Otherwise, if you had an invalid name previously, or somebody claimed your name before you did, just come in and go to your settings under your profile, and you can change your username. Yeah, make sure to claim if you have a popular username. I know those can go quick. If you do have any questions about your username, or think you should have a username that is maybe attached to an old account or anything like that, don't hesitate to reach out and we will help you out. Okay, I think that's it on the update. So we can take questions if anybody has any questions about features or anything else. Go ahead.
And I see Lowe's got a stage request on in, so I just accepted that if you want to come on up, Lowe.
Sweet. Gifted, can you tell me what you mean about the user details?
Maybe invite Gifted up.
Yeah, anyone who wants to ask their question on stage or chat, either way works.
You might just hear me.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, Gifted?
First off, was good, everyone. Appreciate the team and the work that you guys do in terms of listening to the community and feedback. So the question that I asked is basically a extension of something I asked Kaiser up previously, to where if people are on the stage, right? Like if you are a viewer in the chat, if you like hover over their car profile, if it could show you the other rooms that they are allied with, either as a creator or basically, I think something like that would be good in terms of having other creators feel more of a overall incentive to interact with other playback creators and streams, and it all ties back in. So if they wanted to go and see, oh, you know what, I like what he is contributing to the stream, what rooms is he in, I'll follow, just things like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. We definitely want to, now that we have unique usernames, I think we got to follow it up with profiles. And just like you said, the stage is a great sort of channel for discovery. I think a lot of our creators have regular stage guests. Like I know you, Gifted, are not just streaming in Gold Blooded or the Gifted room, but you jump in Lowe's room and Player's Choice, and it should be really easy for a viewer to tap open your profile and figure out what rooms you're a part of, and maybe you want to promote your social profile. So we definitely will be adding that. Great idea.
Absolutely appreciate you guys and all the work you do. Thanks.
Thank you, Gifted. Any other questions in the chat?
A lot of questions around like tipping / super chat type of feature.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone remembers, but on one of our previous streams, I think we previewed a feature that's kind of like a super chat, just to show that we absolutely want to build direct monetization into the platform, to allow you to monetize directly from your viewers and your fans. So I think coming out of this like busy playoff period, that will be one of the things that we look into, I think, over the summer, of how we're going to take the platform to the next level and help our creators build their businesses.
Isolation asks about streaming something that's streamed live directly on YouTube. Yeah, you can always use a YouTube player, and if it's streaming live on YouTube, you can stream it into your playback room and watch it with your community.
facts and stats, I guess I'll take that question. The question is, what drives compensation daily now? It's still the three main tenets, right? So reach being first and foremost. So how many people you're bringing into your room. Depth of engagement, of course, being still important. So how long you keep those folks in your room. And then sort of like bringing new users to your room as well. So those are still the sort of three main tenets. I will say a lot of you are familiar with like the watchers metric. I'll let you know we are using views now just to make it a bit simpler. So rather than that 5+ minute metric, we've moved that down to 30 seconds.
Couple things to expand on that. If you feel like your per view metric or per view payment fluctuates, it's probably because you have more viewers who are logged out. Viewers who are logged into Playback accounts are slightly more valuable than viewers who are logged out. And then watch time is probably the biggest driver. Maybe you had a stream where people stayed a little less on average. If you get people logged in and hanging out for a long time, probably be on the high end.
Double D's asking about adjusting the stream and stage volume in clips. Yeah, I think a couple things there. One way we could approach that is allowing creators to have total control over the layout and the audio levels during the live stream. Right now, one of the things viewers like about Playback is that they can customize all those things on their end. But we've also heard from creators that they would like to be able to control those elements. So maybe there's a way we could support both, allowing creators to have control over the layout and the audio balance, while still giving individual viewers the ability to override that and customize things on their own. And if we do that, then we could just record whatever the creators have chosen to do, and
Sweet.
And that would allow you to have total customization kind of in real time live on what is being recorded. But I don't know where you were getting at on your question was about post-production, or after you make your live clip, being able to choose what goes into the clip or the volume balance afterwards. So I think that is definitely another angle that we could also unlock production capability, both live and in post-production. So yeah, if you have other ideas on that, please follow up. But like I said, that's going to be a big focus of ours in the next few months.
Cabby Sports asks, is there a way we can stream via OBS in the future? You can actually use OBS now. The examples Greer showed you earlier, at least 2 of them were using OBS into studio mode. SDS for sure was. And they took up the whole screen with their OBS layout and actually were flipping back and forth with cameras. Kevin, I don't know if you want to speak to the future ways you can integrate it even more so, but you guys are always welcome to ping us on Discord and email if you want us to kind of help you figure out how you can plug it in.
Yeah, I think right now we've been seeing creators use the virtual camera as their camera feed in the stage, and that's how they're able to pull OBS or Streamlabs or other production suites that have a virtual camera feature into Playback. But I think we will also introduce other ways, like in the remote as a video input source or audio input source. If you don't want to use the stage to bring in video from or audio from another source, you could do it in the remote as well. So we'll definitely build on that to give you more ways to use other software with Playback.
Lowe's mentioning in the chat he uses OBS every time he streams as well. So,
Yep. I've had some good feedback from Lowe, and we're hopefully acting quickly on all that stuff, but we have a lot coming.
Not so sure about that KD25.
Yeah, Warriors fans feeling themselves today, huh?
They're on the brink, This is desperation is oozing out of their.
Oh, it's getting spicy up here, folks. Empire Jeff TV. I just had the question. Oh, when can we stream to 2 rooms at once so that both creators can earn?
Yeah, that is a really cool idea that we've talked about internally, about how to allow multiple rooms to collaborate. Maybe you want to connect your stages so that your viewers can stay in your room but participate in a conversation with another room. Maybe you want to keep your chat separate, or maybe you want to connect your chat too. Maybe you want to split up earnings. Generally, we're really into the kind of multiplayer streaming uses on Playback, and have mostly focused within the room so far, but have had a lot of feedback that connecting rooms would be really fun. We don't have the French rights yet for NBA League Pass, but that will 100% be a big priority for us in the off season to get for next year.
Empire Jeff about being able to use StreamYard as well. I believe like any production software that you can enable a virtual camera, you can actually send that virtual cam feed here into Playback. With that being said, our goal would be to basically introduce all the production features you need. So, down the road, you don't even need to use StreamYard, right? You can produce everything that you need to produce here in your Playback room. And yeah, I think we're all excited about the idea of like connecting rooms / room raids. That type of concept is something that's a feature I think we've probably been getting since we started these town halls. So definitely a request that we want to start working on.
Yep, agreed.
Thank you.
Good luck, Warriors. I'm pulling for you guys. I always want to see Steph play more basketball, and that's honestly. So I do hope you guys pull through.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah. Do appreciate it. Yeah. I will say this is my current mood, though, with every Warriors game. Go back to Rob's. EuroLeague rights for 2024, 2025. There's a chance of anything.
Yeah, we did a EuroLeague kind of pilot test in the past, so I think that hopefully should be in the near term horizon.
We're excited to announce some stuff coming, but as policy, we cannot announce it until signatures are on the dotted line.
Sir Bowser, while you have an NBA League Pass broadcast playing in your room, per our rules on the platform, you cannot advertise. So even if that is during like a commercial break during the League Pass broadcast. With that being said, if you're screen sharing using the YouTube tool, sessions like that, absolutely feel free to plug any ad you want.
We see a lot of creators who have a sponsor for whether it's a podcast or a show, just they screen share at timeout or halftime to discuss their, DraftKings or whatever it may be. So don't feel limited. The Playback room is your room. Awesome, guys.
That's it.
Sweet.
Well,
all right.
Playoff run, y'all.
Get ready for the play-in.
I
didn't say playoffs this time because I know we're not quite there yet.
Don't want to jinx it.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Sun God, yes, definitely will include like drawing on the screen and other types of presentation features when we work on live production over the next few months.
Multi-games at once.
Yeah, multi-viewer is going to be
multi-game. Yeah, I would include that.
With the playoffs, I don't think it's as necessary because they're not going at the same time. But next season,
that's right.
Hey, and I just see DJ and DJack in chat. Like our mod team here at Playback is second to none. So let's get some W's in chat for DJack and all he does on the mod side of things. Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Agreed.
All right, guys.
I think that's it.
Sweet.
All right.
There you go.
Good luck to everybody.